When Bimbo Ademoye said she was cooking something for the YouTube channel, quite frankly, I'm not going to lie, I didn't have high expectations. Not because Bimbo Ademoye is not a good film producer or anything like that, but simply just because of the general level of underwhelming, low quality movies that have been put out here on the YouTube space of late. I just genuinely don't look forward to anything exciting whenever I hear a new movie is coming. But you guys, this particular movie outdid all of my expectations. And when I tell you that Bimbo Ademoye cooked, she cooked good and served properly. First of all, from the cast lineup of this particular movie, you would already start anticipating and expecting something good. But then I promise you, as far as YouTube Nollywood movies are concerned, you would not expect what you'll be getting from this particular movie. First of all, if you have seen the movie, do well to interact with me in the comment section. Say one or two things about how you feel about the movie, and let's just get talking, chit-chatting about, one or two things. And then if you haven't seen the movie and you don't like spoilers, I highly recommend you go see the movie and then come back here and let's get talking in the comment section. But then if you don't mind spoilers at all, do well to sit tight and let's dive into a review of the movie proper. First of all, this movie has a very beautiful cast lineup of some of your most favorite actors and actresses on the space of YouTube, and I'm talking the likes of Eukaria Anunobi, our star girl Uche Montana, Bimbo Ademoye herself. We have Uzor Arukwe on this particular movie. We have Afiz Ayetoro, aka Saka. If you know Saka, if you're an OG in watching Nollywood movies, you should know Saka. And then if you don't, you're probably Gen Alpha or Gen Beta, because who doesn't know Saka, right? Then we have Brian Okoye, we have Ufot, and so many other fantastic actors and actresses that I might not be able to remember their names off the top of my head right now. But I just want to tell you that the cast lineup of this particular movie is to die for. And now let's dive into the story of this particular movie properly. Before I go in to talk about the story and do like a proper review and say one of the things that I think about the story, let me just do a simple and very short, rundown of what the movie actually talks about. So if you watch Sibe, the series, because I actually used to watch Sibe, the series, and I always know that Sibe, the series, is always all things adventure, comedy, and just, good vibes, right? You would know that it's always just Bimbo Ademoye playing the role of Sibe, getting into one or two funny and very hilarious situations here and there. But then this particular movie now carries us along on a deeper journey with Sibe, where she finally makes up her mind and decides that she wants to live a purposeful life after after experiencing so many ups and downs in her life that are actually quite laughable. But if you look at them on a deeper level, you can actually learn a thing or two from Sibe and her experiences. So one thing leads to the other in this particular movie. Somebody dies. A young woman named Natasha dies as a result of her association with some bad guys in this particular movie. And we have Uche Montana playing the role of Natasha in this particular movie, and she dies. And guess what? The next thing we know is that Sibe is seeing Natasha's ghost for one reason or the other. Prior to the time of Natasha's death, Sibe actually happened to have had one or two encounters with Natasha, in this particular movie, and she didn't really know her on a deeper level. They weren't friends or anything like that. So it was quite crazy that when Natasha eventually dies, Sibe is the only person that can see Natasha's ghost. So Natasha and Sibe come together as a duo, strategizing and making plans on how they are going to catch and take down the murderer, who also happens to be running an underground internet scam and cybercrime syndicate. Yes, this particular movie, what I think that you should be expecting from this particular movie, you should expect laughter, you should expect that you are going to learn a lot of things. You should expect a lot of hilarious, scenes, craziness, crazy flow of energy between the actors, between the characters in this particular movie. And also you should expect some insane plot twists, because a lot of things will happen in this particular movie, and I promise you would not see them coming. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying that this movie is the best movie out there on the space of Nollywood as a whole in general, but one thing that I always say is that we should learn to give honor to whom honor is due. I'm not saying that this movie is the best movie on YouTube or the best Nollywood movie out there or that has ever been made, but what I'm just trying to say is that Bimbo Ademoye actually did put in good work into this particular movie, and she deserves her accolades. Yes, she and her entire team, they did a mean job on this particular movie, and I was so impressed. When I heard about this particular movie, I didn't rush to go and watch it immediately, because quite frankly, I didn't have high expectations. YouTube Nollywood movies have been really poor of late, and just something that you don't necessarily look forward to. It's always been like a series of repetition of the same movies, the same, like combination of actors and actresses in the same movie. And to be quite honest, it has just been tiring, right? So when I heard that a new movie was out and Bimbo Ademoye had released a new movie, to be very honest, I didn't rush to watch it. I'm actually like one of the people that came late to the club. But I want to tell you that if you haven't seen this movie and you're contemplating on whether or not you should watch it, I highly recommend you go watch it. I promise you, you will be impressed. As far as YouTube Nollywood movies are concerned, this particular movie is one of the best on the spaces as like at the moment. And if I'm to be honest, I think as far as the whole month of July is concerned, I think this movie is it's stopping it as number one. I'm not even saying based off of like the numbers, because one thing we need to know is that the numbers that you see as per views on YouTube don't really tell you much about a movie, if you want to be very honest with yourself. But when you see genuine reviews where people come out to talk about movies and give their 2 cents, you should actually listen. This particular movie is literally like, for me, in my own opinion, compared to all of the movies that I have seen on YouTube in this month of July, this movie is the best movie that has been put out in the month of July as far as the YouTube Nollywood space is concerned, period. Please, if you have seen a better movie as far as the month of July is concerned, do well to leave it in the comment section. I would love to go and check it out and actually see if I agree with you or not. I just want to commend like the overall creativity of Bimbo Ademoye. I really want to commend her being able to actually take the whole idea of Sibe, that particular dramatic comedy series that she used to show on her channel that I used to watch, and transform it into a whole movie that actually has depth, that actually has an obvious touch of creativity and intentionality. I love the fact that she took a very long time to plan. Like, if you watch this movie, you know that effort and time, resources, energy was put into this particular movie, right? You know that this particular movie was well thought out. I mean, if you watch Sibe the series, you're supposed to know that anything Sibe is always laughter, adventure, lessons to learn, and good vibes. But in this particular one, outdid all of the other episodes of Sibe. Actually, Bimbo Ademoye did such a wonderful job. Now, enough of singing Bimbo Ademoye's praises, because if we want to go on, we can actually go on all day, all week. Now, let's talk about like the individual performances as well as the overall synergistic performance of all of the actors in this particular movie. One thing that I'll say that I noticed, and I feel like you would also notice, is good flow of energy, wonderful camaraderie. There is depth in the acting. I love the way all of the actors in this particular movie poured themselves into the characters that they were portraying and just kind of gave life to those characters and brought them alive. Every single scene was an interesting one. There was no dull moment in this particular movie. It's always one scene that is making you to look forward to another scene, that is making you to look forward to the next, and it just keeps on going on and on and on. To be very honest, I feel like all of the actors brought their A game. They did as much as was required for this particular movie. I didn't see anybody doing anything that was unnecessarily extra. Neither did I see anybody that was not, coming up to par, right? I genuinely want to commend the actors and actresses and the way they put in their best, the way they obviously put in good energy and, their time and their whole selves into bringing the characters that they're portraying to life. I really love it. I also admire and love the way this movie was able to be a light-hearted movie and at the same time also a very serious movie. I love the comic reliefs in the movie that are just scattered all over the place. In as much as the movie had a very serious storyline underneath as the base, I love the fact that they were able to infuse elements of adventure with comedy and just merge them together in such a way that they brought out a very beautiful harmony, and the movie was just so good to see. This movie is literally like my favorite movie in the month of July. I think I've said that before, but I just want to say it again for emphasis' sake. Bimbo Ademoye, take your flowers. You did something serious on this particular one. This particular movie was worth the wait, is worth the resources. If you haven't seen this movie, I beg, go and see it. I promise you would enjoy it if you like good things though. But then if you don't, then probably you can do whatever you like. Then if you have seen the movie, share your own thoughts and your own opinions about this particular movie. Let me know who your favorite character is or was. Let me know the scenes that you loved the most about this particular movie. Let me know 1 or 2 things that you learned from the movie, and recommend for me some other movies that I think that I should check out that are equally good, and also give a review on it. I think that brings us successfully to the end of this particular movie review. Thank you so much for watching up until this point. If you're still here, do well to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this particular review. Do well to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications to get notified if and whenever I put out new, good and awesome content like this. And until I come again to your your screen next time. I remain your girl, Mimi. Nasike, thank you so much for watching. I love you all dearly and God bless you. Bye.